Hi, Keita. Good to see you again. How are you?
Thank you, Joseph, and it's equally nice to meet with you. All good, and hope things are well at your end as well.
Well, everything's fine here in sunny Berlin. But let's talk merger control. I heard there are significant changes upcoming in the Indian regime. Could you tell us more about it?
Yes, earlier this year, in April 2023, the Competition Amendment Act of 2023 received the assent of the President of India to reform and amend the Competition Act of 2002. This Amendment Act proposes extensive and expansive changes to the merger control regime in a bid to bring parity and alignment with the global standards and provisions. While several provisions of the Amendment Act pertaining to abuse of dominant position, anti competitive agreements, etc., have already been enforced, in May 18th, 2023, the changes pertaining to the merger control regime are largely pending implementation as of now.
What will they encompass, these changes? Could you expand slightly more on the concrete changes?
One of the very significant changes has been the introduction of the approval requirement based on transactional value. That means that all the transactions which are exceeding Indian rupees 2000 crores will now require a prior approval from the Competition Commission of India. However, this requirement hinges on the target company having substantial business operations in India. And what is meant and how do you ascertain substantial business operations in India? The Competition Commission of India, in its draft regulations, has provided guidance in respect thereof as well. So, accordingly, in addition to the assets and turnover thresholds, the transactional value threshold has also been introduced in respect of the approval requirements of the proposed combinations.
Wow, so it's quite an expansion of the triggering events. Are there other changes in that field?
Yes, as you may be aware, that CCI's prior approval is required in case of an acquisition of control of an enterprise if the asset or turnover or the transactional value threshold is met. Now, the scope of definition of control has been widened and broadened by the bill as well. Earlier, the control was defined as including controlling the affairs of management of an enterprise. Now, it is not required to be shown that there is control over the affairs of management of the enterprise. The ability to exercise material influence in any manner whatsoever over the management or affairs or strategic commercial decisions would be sufficient to demonstrate control, which basically means that in case of notifiability as well as substantive assessment of combinations, the acquisition of negative control will also be vital and imperative.
So, wow, that's really a significant broadening of the triggering events. How is it with the procedure?
There has been a welcome change for the investors and the parties that the time frame of 210 days has been now truncated and shortened to 5 months. That is 150 days under the amended provisions.
Hence, we really face significant changes, but is there already some indication on the timelines when we can expect this to go live?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, that the government has also issued the competition settlement regulations, the commitment regulations, and the combination regulations, which are expected to take 2 or 3 months more, perhaps after the winter session of the Indian Parliament, to come into effect and be enforced.
Huge changes upcoming in 2024 in India. Many thanks, Ketan. That's really enlightening. And I'm already looking forward to reading in your upcoming newsletter on this and the other changes. Many thanks.
Thank you, likewise, and look forward.